Hello and welcome to the Lookout here in Peniac, New Brunswick. Very beautiful. Today's video is entitled The Sun Salutation Variety Show. So this is going to feel a little bit different than how I normally teach. I normally, in a vinyasa yoga class, really drag out the beginning of class and try to get you to very slowly engage different muscles and just create like a strong foundation. But today, this variety of sun salutation is intended for everyone, but I'm really trying to show my current teachers in training how you can, without being super fancy or frilly, how you can do minor adjustments to a sun salutation to make it more interesting or even more available, or just get at different body parts that a traditional sun salutation A, which is your upward dog and your downward dog, some things that might not be addressed in that traditional flow. So yeah, there'll be a lot of movement. I'm just gonna go. I'm not gonna super cue or teach a lot. We're just gonna play with some variety in this variety show of sun salutation. So you don't need any props. Have a great time. Meet me in mountain pose. So a hard floor or your mat or the forest floor, whatever. Find standing. Fingers spread, always a light bend in the knees, so there's more power, your hamstrings, the back sides of your legs, your butt cheek really holding your body. Chin up, reach up. Palms face outward, really pull, so squeeze those armpits as you dive into your fold. Your guts rising away from your bent knees. Halfway lift. Grippy fingers, puffy middle back. Generous bend in your legs so it's easy to land hands. Nice spread in the fingers. Let's just start with plank. Long legs back. Toes are bent, give the heels a good push. And then just find downward dog. Lift your hips up. And then we won't hold. Lift your heels yet again. Bend your knees, look at your hands. Travel to your flat back pose. So your feet arrive and then you just hold your shins. Up. Raise the belly up and then fold. Hang hands, hang head. Then hands resist the air while you circle high. Your knees end up forward in space. Your butt holds you as you reach. And then without stopping, let's add variety. Dive down, squeeze the pits, pull on the air around you. Halfway lift. Bend your knees, plant your hands. High plank. Keep your toes tucked. Look at your hips, so bow the head under. Let your knees go forward and down, and then go into a deep cat pose. Push the ground. Still looking under your body, so keep that head in cat pose. Let your tail rise to the sky. The belly begins to drop. The ribs just below the chest let go. The chest goes towards the face eventually lifts. So this is your cow pose, your first back bend besides extended mountain. Grab with the fingers like your right hand is opening a jar clockwise, your left one counterclockwise. With your head up, let's roll to cat. Your tail goes between your knees. Your middle back, your lower middle back, middle back all start to round. Eventually suctioning the body into cat pose. Keep your head in cat pose. Legs go to plank. Then look at your hands. Then downward dog. Without staying, lift the heels. Bend the knees, see the hands. Flat back. Travel. Hold the shins. Puff the back. Raise belly up while you fold down. Strong feet rise up. The feet go through the ground, the floor, as you touch the ceiling. Your armpits and your hands have some kind of grip against the air while falling down to your folds. Halfway lift. Bend knees, place hands down. High plank again, so we'll keep going through that. And then this is a floating tabletop, so it's kind of a hybrid of cat. Do not let your shins touch the ground. Bend your head under, bend your knees forward. Hold. So your shins are hovering. Keep the knees, look at the hands. Go again to that high plank, shove the heels back. Down dog. Lift your heels, bend your knees and look. Travel to flat back. Deep. Hold the shins. Get the belly out of the way, so really hike it up with bent legs. Fold. Still not stopping. Solid feet. Circle up. And then swan dive down, pulling the air around you. Let's do that again because it's a little bit of a different one for you. Find halfway lift. Find a solid plank. And then it's just a hovering tabletop or a hovering cat type pose. So your toes are quite bent. Bend your head under, that part's easy. And then bend the knees almost forward. The shins have air underneath them. They're not on the ground. Keep your knees bent. So your lower back is also round, but you can now look at your hands. Find that awesome plank pose. Your back is round as you shove your heels back. Downward dog. Lift your heels, no recovery. Bend your knees, flat back. Breathe. Hold. Rise. One more nice upper body one, then I'll play with some other stuff. Fall down. Muscular fall to your fold. Flat back. Bend your knees, plant your hands, and then step to your high plank. And then just quote unquote side plank. You can step your hands a little closer together. Now tip completely onto the left edge, the outer edge of the left foot. As your hips swivel, a light right hand, a right elbow up to the sky, and then your right fingers up. The left leg so solid, your inner thighs super solid. We can be a bit thicker as we come out if you reach your top hand over your ear. Look down, squeeze your chest, find a really round high plank. So you're back onto your bent toes, only to swivel onto the right foot, so your right outer heel. The left hand grows light, and then soon enough you're bowing the left elbow. You're reaching the whole left arm. You're standing very much on a right squeezed hand, a heavy right butt, both hips kind of lifty. Get longer as you overhead reach, and then get to kind of buff in the chest. Tighten the throat as you reach for the mat. Finding plank. And then downward dog. Pike the heels. Bend the knees, see the hands. Flat back. Breathe in. Strong ribs, strong belly as you exhale to fold. Big high reach, bubbling the arms around you. Knees forward, eyes up. And then swan dive down. Around back in what's called your flat back pose. You puff up. You still transition with plank. Soft knees, spread hands. Step into it. Down dog. Right leg now rises. Hip opens. Nice hamstring curl. Knee bends. The standing heel tall, gaze at hands, and then a big movement. Claw on the mat as you pull your right knee towards your right armpit, your torso traveling with you, right foot outside of right hand. Turn toes to 45. Long, dainty arms forward, so do a bit of an overreach. You're dangling, you're barely holding on as we go to a squat. So move your head forward. The left toes point, the right knee overbends, left hamstring curl, left knee to the left, left foot slowly steps to your squat. Sit and pray the hands. A little bit more strength, lift the elbows off of the bent knees, and then your transition is a wide-legged flat back. Tent your fingers, squeeze your knees straight, your head stuck out from the hips, heel toe your feet. Big knee bend as you fold. Then change it up with a roll up. Your fingers very zombied, your knees bent as you roll. In the case of this flow, still go to your extended mountain pose, maybe adding some height to that. But we need to do this one twice to get both legs. Dive right back down. So remember that if you teach it to even out. Halfway lift, powerful high plank to your downward dog. You begin with your left leg, let it rise to a three-legged dog, the hamstring curl being key. Another key is lifting the right heel, look at the hands, and all parts of you really travel. Left knee forward towards the left pit, your head forward, step outside of your hand, maybe hiking to do so. Toes are prepared for squat, so they're turned at 45. The arms go for this far reach. Head forward, and those right toes start to ballet point. So you lunge forward, curl the right hamstring, poke wide into your squats. The knee starts to kind of tree pose out. You get your stance, you quickly pray the hands. The elbows do a little surface so that you're really held up by the legs, so they come off of the knees. Tented hands, what's called your wide-legged flat back. Just project your head out of your hips, muscle the kneecaps high, heel toe the feet, belly up as you fold down. A roll up to really floss through it all. A bigger push of those knees and hips forward, but still heavy heels as you end up in that high circle, extended mountain. Dive down. So that takes care of your little squat sequence. Halfway lift. And just a little bit more heat before we finish up. Lift your heels. Really nice variation, forcing your body forward in space, working those ankles. Step to chaturanga to your low plank. So you have to do a squat a little bit. Your knees squeeze together to get those hands to the floor. Your heels are still up. Then just step, bend the elbows right away. Lower all the way down. With toes still bent, swipe your hands back, holding trays on each palm. Straight elbows as you lift your chest. So a real variation of locust. Toes bent, arms straight, thumbs tight. With your head up, begin to reverse the arms. So bend the elbows tight to your sides, plant your hands. Tuck your chin, high plank, down dog, hike the heels, soften the knees and take a look as you find flat back, into a simple fold, gathering belly up. Emphasize your feet as you reverse swan dive, extended mountain. Dive down. Lift halfway, lift the heels, and the arms straight out of the body. So you're in an L shape. In this great balancing hover, do squat the knees and plant the hands. Go straight to chaturanga as in the last flow. Then the only thing that will change, lower down, reach forward just like that flat back pose, and then super the chest up. With a lifted chest, bend the elbows under the shoulders. Tuck the chin and form that cat spine as you high plank. Down dog. Finishing up with your halfway lift, your fold, and then just roll to mountain. And chill out in mountain pose. That can be your active meditation. Take a look around your room. Hear and feel your breath. Thanks.